yet. Like this?
Oh, and the butterflies, before you get on, you're waiting in line.
Certified freak, 7 days a week. That wet ass pussy got my pull-out game weak. Ooh.
What's up?
Hello, everyone. Oh, hi,
Hey.
everyone.
What's up, body shoppers? Joe Samino here with.
Marilu.
I gotta go this way.
Yeah, I'm there. Or no, you're there.
It's backwards bizarro world.
I know.
I can't believe it's been a week already. It feels like we were just live like a couple of days ago.
Yeah, I this morning was kind of like, what day is it? Yeah, it seems like they're all running together now.
Well, we're like kind of quasi on lockdown again, so I don't know. Not really lockdown. They won't call it a lockdown or what was it?
It's an advisory. It's a stay-at-home advisory.
So we're staying home as much as possible.
Mhm.
To our chagrin. So, but
Yeah.
and we've got 2 of the 3 clubs currently closed. That's a rough one. That's a rough one.
It is because I know there's still people that want to get out and about and for however it is, whatever reason, well, they're done with being inside and not having human contact. So
it's kind of funny, we went, was it last Friday? Last Friday, yeah. We went downtown probably about what, 7? I don't even know what time it was. We went downtown.
Oh yeah. No, it was like 8:00.
Was it that late?
Yeah, because you were like, we're not going downtown in the middle of rush hour. And I'm like, what rush hour? Like, unless there's something I don't know.
Let me fix my camera here. Whoa, going crazy. No, but it was kind of weird. We went downtown to go see the to Market Square and to go see the big tree and the ice rink, and there were people ice skating and stuff like that, and that was cool. I mean, I wouldn't say it was busy, but there was definitely people there. But what was weird after the fact was, you had said, well, let's go somewhere else, and I'm like, there's nowhere to go. Like, literally, there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
So for like the 72nd time, we went up to Mount Washington, went on the overlook or whatever you want to call it type thing, and that lasted about 10 minutes, and I was like, okay, let's go home. I think we were gone for a total of an hour.
Yeah, I think we were. I mean, we didn't even like get hot chocolate or hot cider, or we didn't even like get the samples of wine at Market Square. We were just kind of like, I think for me personally, I'm so used to going to these types of outdoor events in the wintertime, and it's like there's so many people, and you're like, it's a day after Thanksgiving, and you're kind of fighting the little crowds and stuff, and everyone brings their kids down, and it just seems so blasé, just so not that many people around to give you that excitement and that like wow.
Well, I'm gonna pick on Pittsburgh here for a minute, because some of you may know that Marilu and I are originally from Cleveland. I lived in Cleveland for 40 plus years, from a little teeny tiny baby to this big ginormous person I am now. And Pittsburgh's got to get their Christmas shit together, because I'll tell you what, you go to Public Square in Cleveland, and it's the bomb. I mean, they do a really, really nice job of decorating lights and all that stuff. And, they have all these vendors and stuff at Market Square, And I'll be honest with you, there was nothing that was even remotely exciting to purchase. And I think it would be you guys would be way ahead of the game to get rid of all the vendors and all the bullshit. Maybe have a couple of vendors, maybe a hot chocolate vendor, coffee,
Mhm.
um, maybe funnel cakes or something silly like that. But you know, decorate the whole fucking thing with lights, make some displays, and it's a cool little square. That really, I think they should do more with that than what they do. But
Well, we're used to, like you said, you know, I've been in Cleveland. Well, wow, 44 years. 44.
hmm
Yeah, 45 years.
hmm
And it was tradition the day after Thanksgiving you went downtown and uh back in the days, just like Christmas Story, you went to Higbee's or Hallie's and you got your picture taken with Santa, and that was an all day event. And then you'd go to Public Square and you'd get your hot chocolate, and then you would just wait for the lights to go off at like 7 o'clock, I think it was. And they had like the singing angels and all these like performers and stuff. And it was the whole like it was an experience. It literally, I guess, because we're spoiled, it really was like the Christmas Story movie. Everything that you saw was really happening there. So it was a lot of excitement as a kid, and I,
Now,
I wanted to kind of relive that. And then it was like, oh,
well, to be fair, we have not gone down to Market Square before this year. So, having said that,
yeah,
it's possible I may be misspeaking in that maybe they've done more in years past, and because of the pandemic, they're just not.
maybe,
But I, I'm hard pressed to think that just because all the vendors that were there. I mean, there to be what 20 vendors there,
yeah,
and that just seemed kind of ridiculous. But to just to comment on what you were saying about Cleveland, I never really, as a kid, never really went down. We never went to Higbee's or May Company or whatever for Santa. I think we went locally to the local Santa. Yeah,
hmm
there are multiple Santas. There isn't just one. But, yeah. So at any rate, Pittsburgh, you gotta get your shit together. So your Christmas shit. Otherwise, I think Pittsburgh's a pretty good city. I think actually driving home from that, I don't think I shared this with you.
hmm
I think the cities are extremely similar,
they are.
in many, many, many ways, and each one has its pros and cons, obviously. But I think they're very much, in my opinion, sister cities. So,
hmm
but
Cool.
so I want to stop for a second here. We got Chris Wise. Thank you. I worked probably a whole afternoon day on that intro. It definitely needs a lot of work. It was literally my first foray into video editing like that. So, but thank you very much. I appreciate that. Chris Mark says hello, Kingsters, and the fabulous Ed Pinto from the Fabulous Pinto Mansion. I hope you enjoyed the intro yourself, also, since you are in it. Uh,
Uh-huh.
and I think had we done that video just the week before.
Yes, this is the second time that we've actually used it as an intro. So yeah.
Excuse me. So
Well, the thing is, it's so catchy with the song that you end up like,
I had that
in
song.
the background. You're just like, yeah.
That song was in my head for 3 days. Actually, it's still like I'll get up in the morning. I'm like, there's some hoes in this house. There's some hoes in this house. Oh, Ed Pinto missed the intro.
The intro.
I'm
We'll
not
play
gonna-
it at the end.
Yeah, we'll play it at the end. So if you wait at 9 o'clock, we'll play it again. We'll play it again at the end. So, anyway, so yeah, so it's really tough right now. I mean, there's legit not much to do. So people are going crazy. I mean, I know I'll speak for myself. Just even going out to restaurants. I mean, I don't even feel like going out to restaurants. Not because I'm afraid of anything or anything like that, but I just I don't know. Like there's got to be more to this.
Well,
So
yeah, but that's just it. We've all, had the, opportunity for so many years to just, get up and go, and everything is so accessible to everyone. And right now, everything is just kind of like um, getting the leftovers in a sense, because if you want to go out to a restaurant and it might be your favorite, they may only be doing carry out, and some are only doing, yeah, see, like only carry out. Thomas
Michigan,
Beer
yeah,
says in Michigan, yeah.
they only carry out in Michigan. Um,
Hmm.
well, a lot of states are doing that. Actually, I sped read an article about Los Angeles County is basically shut down again.
Hmm.
And I don't want to spend too much time talking about coronavirus. For those of you that watch the news, I don't personally watch the news. I get a lot of my information through AP, Newswire, and stuff like that. So, but for those of you that watch the news, whether it's whatever news network you watch, that's all anybody's talking about, that and the elections. I thought after November, what was the election, November 3rd? I thought
November 3rd.
we'd stop talking about the election, but holy fuck balls, we're still talking about that too. I'm ready to blow my brains out.
Well,
Oh. Well, for that, I'm going to use this as a segue into talking about virtual swinging. I'd asked Marilu this morning. I said, "What do you want to talk about today?" And she's like, "I don't know," and I'm like, "I don't know either." But I've actually, for the last 2 days, yesterday and today, I've been participating, and by participating, I mean watching an adult industry conference put on by Why Not. It's the letter Y, NOT.
Hmm.
It's free. So if anybody's interested, they've got one more day tomorrow. But I've been watching that for the last 2 days, and um, it's been very interesting. So it kind of hit me this morning, like, let's talk about virtual swinging, um,
Hmm.
because we're obviously still doing the virtual parties through the Body Shop website, and a lot of people are doing like Zoom events and stuff like that.
Hmm.
but, um, but I wanted to talk about last Saturday. Can we talk about last Saturday night?
Yeah, yeah, you can. Actually, this will be the first time I'll be hearing about last Saturday, because,
True.
well, to
I
some
talked to you
extent,
about it.
you did talk about it, but to some extent, like, I didn't get all the nitty gritty
So
details of it.
yeah. So we do these virtual events, and the majority of part of the event early on, typically there's like games or trivia, stuff like that goes on. And this is a multi-club event. Now you access it through the Body Shop website, and there's about 25 other clubs
Mhm.
that are in our system. So we have a bunch of sister clubs, and they're all member-based clubs. So we sort of pull all of our resources together and meet on Saturday, actually on Wednesday nights and Saturday nights. And
Mhm.
so one of our sister clubs, Oasis Aqua Lounge, out of Toronto, Canada, they've really helped out tremendously in providing content, shows, things like that. So that stuff generally goes on like early, like 7 to say 10 o'clock.
Mhm.
And there's different things that go on throughout that, virtual swing parties and a couple other clubs that really help out tremendously. But typically after 10 o'clock, 11ish,
Mhm.
people start getting a little amorous. Well, so last Saturday I reached out to two friends of ours and said, "Hey, and they're pretty adventurous and pretty much exhibitionists. And I said, "Hey, would you be interested in playing on cam for the web chat for the virtual event?" And this was, I think, 2 weeks ago. Was it
Mm.
2 weeks ago we talked to them about it?
Yeah, yeah. We
Okay.
talked to them right before the weekend before Thanksgiving. We talked to them about it.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said, my thought basically is to get you and maybe a couple of other people on cam, and we'll stream it into the chat. And they were like, yeah, sure, we're on board, and they contacted two other couples. So basically, they came with, and there was a single guy, and they all came to the club. I barely interacted with them. The club's closed. The Pittsburgh club is closed, by the way. So this was them being able to just come in here, and they did their own thing. They sat around, chatted for a while, but they moved into the group room. I had a camera set up. There was 3 cameras set up. I set up 2. One was a night vision camera, which is actually kind of fucking cool. Because even when the lights get turned down, everything goes black and white, but you can see everything crystal clear. And then we had another,
kind of like on Predator when the guy flips on the mask and all of a sudden it's like,
well, that's
everything lights up.
Yeah, I think you get the point.
Okay.
But yeah, it was super interesting because they played a little game first. They did like Swinger Jenga, which is basically, I'm not going to mention any names. I'm going to say who it was. I almost said who the person. One of the persons that was involved with that we contacted, he talks a lot, and I love him to death. And I don't mean that in any way, shape, or form in a derogatory way. But it took him 30 minutes just to get the rules and everything set up to do this Swinger Jenga. And there were only 4 rules. So let me just stop here real quick. So I wanted to say hi, Donald Watson saying hi, Thomas Bear, Ed Pinto, guys, welcome to the chat. Let's see, we got just taking a look here. Nobody from our staff's watching. So, but anyway, so I'm going to cut to the chase because Marilu and I did not participate in this particular thing. I actually was sitting here in the studio, my office, sitting in the office in the chat, and then feeding making sure the feeds were working from the cameras. So it was really cool. It ended up turning into basically a big orgy. But I think I said this to you yesterday. What I really, really was impressed with had nothing to do with the sex part of it, which is going to sound odd. But it was the fact that the one couple knew who the other 2 couples were, but the other 2 couples didn't really know who they were or had not met before. And every single person was physically different. Like sometimes we talk about like height, weight proportion at parties, where, it's all the pretty people or whatever. This was just a complete, even though it was 7 people, the dynamics were totally different between all of them. And I thought that was really amazing. Number one, for me to be able to watch them all have sex. Remotely, of course. I don't like being a creeper. Like I could not just stand like outside the door and watch them have sex. I mean, I could do that for probably 2 minutes, but watching it on cam was really fucking interesting. For me personally, anyway, because again, I don't like necessarily watching in person. I know that sounds odd. So anyway, so this is the virtual parties. This is what it's about, folks. Virtual swinging. But I don't know. I know it's not the same. It's not the same as real interactions.
Well, it's not in the physical sense, but right. I think what's kind of cool about the virtual parties is that there are so many different people from different walks of life that reside in different cities that you can get to chat with and get to know. So that way, if you're up in Toronto, you just made a friend or talked to somebody for 2 hours and maybe even watch them get intimate with their partner and or partners. And it's kind of like, okay, well, I feel like I know them.
Well, you definitely see a lot more of them than you do like in going out to dinner. But that's true. I mean, I'm gonna go into the virtual chat later tonight. When I was in on Saturday, there was people, we've been sort of amiss from going into the chat rooms, and especially on Saturdays because when the club was open, we couldn't. but there were a couple of people that were like, it was nice to see you back in the chat, meaning me. And so I think we need to make a considerate effort to, you know, go in there more often.
Oh
And not
yeah.
be,
Yeah.
it's tough when we're working, but um, yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
the
So
chat will be going tonight.
yeah. So, but there's a lot of clubs that are part of this.
Mhm.
So, you're never going to see the same thing twice. Um, in the sense of like what the entertainment or the games or things might be in that sense.
Mhm.
And each night it's totally different. It really vibes off the people in the chat
Yeah.
and the conversations and um it's kind of cool because you can see how many people are actually watching your camera, to see what you're doing or not doing.
Mhm.
Um and also that's great because you can go down the list of names and click on a camera and be like, oh whoa, this user's getting like they've got 70 people watching their camera, what are they doing? And so that way you can like click on and be like, oh okay, they're putting on a show. So outside of the actual physical uh thing of being in a club or at a meet and greet or at a house party, you're still able to um, entertain yourself with some of the things that are. Why'd you raise an eyebrow? With some of the things that are going on.
Entertain yourself.
Well,
And define entertain yourself.
mm, well, I mean, whatever.
Mm-mm.
However, if
However,
something, however, whatever, something excites you, because obviously it's a great platform for anyone who's an exhibitionist, but it's an even better platform for someone who's a voyeur because they don't have to turn on their camera and they could just turn on everyone else's and see what's going on.
yeah,
You know? So
I agree. I
yeah.
agree.
But it's a lot of fun. Um like you said, there's quite a few people that we were just uh, in conversation with the first couple of weeks that we started doing this, and
Mhm.
and now it's like every once in a while I'll look at my text messages or something, and they'll be communicating like, "Hey, haven't seen you in a while," or "What's going on?" Blah blah blah, and you know, it's always a good time.
Hmm.
Look who popped in. We have not seen
Wow.
them.
Wow. Veronica
Yeah.
Love.
Yes.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's good
Yeah.
to see you guys. Haven't seen you forever. Chris also asked which club is still open. Currently, the only club that is open is the Canton location.
Mhm.
However, the hours have been adjusted to accommodate the curfew in Ohio. So right
Mhm.
now, that club is open 5 to 10 on Saturday night. It'll be open actually Friday and Saturday this week.
Mhm.
Friday is the Big Bang, which actually looks like it could be pretty good
Cool.
attendance wise. So
Yeah.
masks are required. So if you do go to the club, know that masks are required, and the occupancy is very limited. So I think we're down to 20% of occupancy or something.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, so Canton's the only one open, Chris, and we see Laura's back. Hi, Laura. Um, so I wanted to actually, with the virtual swinging stuff, so you've got the chat rooms, and there's other ways to do it. Obviously, people can, people have Snapchatted and do silly shit like that. But one of the things that we're actually tomorrow night, we're doing a virtual meeting about ChatterBait. The clubs, given the climate and everything that's going on, we're making some adjustments to how we're going to operate, or at least how we're going to use the buildings.
Mhm.
And we're going to start doing camming out of the clubs, potentially throughout the week and the nights that we're not operating. And
Mhm.
then also maybe while we are operating. But these are some things that we're going to work out as we move forward. But we've got a meeting tomorrow night, virtual meeting on the website. If you go to bodyshopclubs.com and check that out, you'll see a link for the Chatterbait meeting. I did change the time. It was supposed to be at 8 o'clock. We moved it to 7 because two of the people that are helping present that do camming needed to do it a little bit earlier. One of the persons is camming at 8 o'clock. So, so yeah, if you have any interest in potentially earning some extra money, or you just like having sex in front of other people on camera, this might be up your alley. So, definitely check it out. But yeah, I'm kind of excited about doing this. I part of this virtual conference talks a lot about camming and models and stuff like that. So that was part of the reason why I went into it. And I'm a big believer in I don't want to say not karma, but the universe sort of presenting things to you in different ways and times, and with everything that's going on in this. I don't remember how I came across this virtual conference. I know I didn't get it through an email. But
I don't know. You just sent me the link one morning, and I was like, "Hey, this is next week."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Oh, cool."
Yeah. So I definitely need a haircut. Look at my hair. It looks terrible. I look terrible.
It's just a big poof going on right now.
Before we went live, I'm literally I'm looking in the camera, and I asked Marilu, I said, is it just me, or do I look terrible? And she's like, well, you look a little pasty. So if I got a little color, it's because I made some adjustments on the camera. Otherwise, I'm about 2 shades darker than this shirt.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I think between that and needing a haircut, and all this gray, holy shit. And don't anybody in here say silver fox, because I'm tired of hearing about the silver fox.
Oh, please.
Wait, I remind you of Johnny Cash, or my hair does? Because I think we need to qualify that.
Well, at least you're not Paulie from like The Sopranos.
Paulie Walnuts? Yeah. Well, I kind of got that going on. Look, right there.
You have the bowl. It just goes all the way around your head.
Yeah. And then I got dark hair right here.
Yeah.
You know what I noticed? My dad is not almost. He's 74 years old. He's virtually all gray, except for this little area that I showed you on the back of my neck.
Yep.
Now he's got light hair. He's got like light brown hair anyway. But we were over there, I don't know, a few months ago, and he was going into the kitchen. I looked, I'm like, holy shit, he got the same thing I got.
Yeah, he's got the same bowl.
Yeah. So it seems like when I'm 70, I'm going to have all white hair and then this little black strip back here. I'm going to have to come up with a name for that. So Mike just asked, how do we sign up? I'm assuming you mean for the virtual meeting tomorrow. Just go to the Body Shop Club's website. It's bodyshopclubs.com. If you're not already a member, you'll have to register to become a member. Once you're approved, you'll be able to enter the chat room. And if you have to have a profile. So if anybody's watching this and you are a member, but you don't have a profile, you're not going to be able to get into the chat. Now, that doesn't mean that you won't be able to participate once we start doing the camming. But that'll just have to be worked out through email and stuff like that. So, but kind of excited about that. I mean, I'm not a big, camming porn guy anyway. But I don't know.
Well, I think what's kind of interesting is that when you look at some of the content that's actually out there for camming, the people that are on there, I mean, you have, yes, the people that are there and they're performing their sex acts and so forth and blah, blah, blah.
I had to put this on my screen. Laura says, Laura says, I'm digging the glasses, Marilu. I tell Marilu that all the time. I'm like, you look good with your glasses on. Now show everybody how you usually wear your glasses.
Because they're for distance. So, sometimes I don't need them, Like even like having them on right now to look at my screen is awkward for me because it just looks so close, and it's already like it's right there, So,
Well, that's good. You can read all the comments.
ha 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 ha.
No, it's not hotter on her head, Laura. Even hotter. No.
That's okay. He spent one day looking at all the pictures of us on his phone, and he's like, I can't find one where your glasses are not on top of your head. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Terrible. It was terrible. I'm just gonna say, for me, it's like it reminds me of like you might as well have like the chain and just have the glasses hanging around your neck. Like the
old librarian.
Yeah, librarian, school teacher sort of thing. So when you got them up on your head, it's like if they were sunglasses, I might feel a little differently. Okay. But the regular glasses.
Okay.
And I said might differently. I like your hair anyway. So.
Oh, well, thank you.
I don't like it pulled back like that. I only like it pulled back when I'm behind you.
That's a whole different. Oh my God. We're getting off subject here. So wait a minute.
No. It says virtual swinging and much more. We didn't say we're going
to. Okay.
So I have to talk about last night.
Okay.
Well, more importantly, I want to talk about our conversation this morning about last night. Mary, I'm gonna say Mary's gonna be like, what? So I'm a little proud of myself. I think I did pretty good last night. I mean,
you did.
I think I hit it pretty good.
It was a little shocking, but yeah.
I'm gonna say why Marilu thinks it's shocking, because as we ran out this morning. And we're standing there, and I don't know how the subject even came up about last night, but I said, yeah. And she goes, oh yeah. She goes, I was like really surprised. She's like, you lasted more than 8.5 seconds. And I was like, at first I was like, oh yeah, I sure did. And I was like, well, wait a minute here, 8.5 seconds. What are you doing? What are you reading?
Well, because clinically, the reason I said 8.5 seconds is that in one of my classes, which I think I just so happened to do yesterday, it talked about how men are fixated about their performance, and sometimes they get performance anxiety and so forth. But Masters and Johnson had at one point done research and said that the basic length of time for a male to ejaculate once they're inside the vagina was only 2 minutes. So 2 minutes from the time of insertion.
I need you to say that in a less clinical way.
So once a guy put his dick in her pussy, it was like they'd come in 2 minutes. That's Perfect. What Masters and Johnson's research was originally. And then later on, someone else did a little bit more detailed thesis and structured analysis of what it was. And they said that it was actually 8.5. So it was 8 minutes, 0.5 seconds from the minute of insertion. So anything, if a guy's like, I can't even, last 5 minutes, it's like, well, wait a minute, you're like, actually, you're in the spectrum. You're You're within the 2 and the 8.5.
I am amazingly average. Yes.
So that's why I meant by the 8.5 reference this morning. It was just like right on the tip there, and it just kind of flowed, and you were kind of like
0.5 seconds, not 8.5 minutes. FYI.
Oh yeah. Yeah, sorry. 8.5 seconds.
And I'm not gonna lie, there, you know, I think it's an homage to you and your vagina, pussy, and how fucking good it feels. So for anybody who's wondering, I am a master at eating pussy, though. Just saying.
And I will confer. Yes, that is correct. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking after I fucked you last night, I wasn't gonna need to eat your pussy.
Yeah, last night was it was a different play session.
Yeah, how was
You
it? For you?
know? It's it was almost borderline sex compulsion, like once you have that first orgasm and then the second one, you're like striving for the third, and you're just like, trying to make it happen. Damn it, I want it.
Wait, are you saying you came twice?
3 times.
3 times.
Uh-huh.
3 times, my lady.
The third one was a little like, like I said, you're like, you want it so bad, and you're just like, oh, no, don't move, don't, yes, no, move, no, yes, no, yeah, no.
So, I have to comment on that because it's so incredibly difficult. Well, 2 things. To fuck in the same manner when, how do I say this? Women obviously don't come the way men do, in that, just from fucking, you're going to come. And, having to do it repetitively, like the same action for a period of time, gets increasingly more difficult as that time goes on because you start wearing out. I'm wearing out. So then you've got to like kind of readjust a little bit, and then you get frustrated. I'm sure, like, no, right where it was at was where it needed to be. And then I get like a little bit of a breather, and that's like, hey, I'm gonna try and hit that spot again. But the same goes for when I'm eating your pussy, because you start moving around. You'd be like, no, right there. I'm doing it. And then you start moving around, and I'm like, fuck, how am I? Like, I don't have a laser tracker on this thing. But I can't see where my mouth is. I can only see what's in front of me, which is your mind. So when you're moving that shit around, you're fucking yourself over.
Whoa. Well, you can take it 2 ways. I'm moving that shit around because maybe you aren't necessarily hitting the spot.
Well, that's true too.
1, or 2, I'm moving that shit around because it's like so damn good that it's like, don't, oh my God.
Are you saying you try not to come?
No.
Because if that's the case, that's fucked up, because I put my fucking licks in, and I mean that literally. And listen, I don't quit, but it's not fair if you're purposefully holding off.
No, well, you know me, when I have my like orgasm, it's like, get off of me, don't touch me. Oh my God. Oh, that was so good, but yeah, don't. Ooh, too sensitive. Don't come near me.
Is that like for all women? I mean, are all women like that? Like after they have that orgasm, they're like, peace, I'm done.
I don't believe so. maybe that's one of my next questions to be out there, but make him work for it. Oh, he's worked for it. There's
Funny. Listen. I don't need any more shit from the peanut gallery. I worked that shit. All 8 seconds of it. I joke. I'm like, well, I can't help it if she can't keep up. I come right when I want to.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so yeah, I feel pretty good about last night.
Oh, good. And someone mentioned that that's when you need toys come into play, and I do have those moments too where it's like, it's been a good hour,
Yeah,
maybe hour and a half, and you think it's all done, and what and I'm like, water, and you get me my water, and then you walk in the room again, and you're like, oh, the toy's out. Okay. I guess she's going for another round.
Yeah, that's happened. That's happened a few times where we have sex or whatever, and I'll go to the bathroom and I come back and I hear like, and I know some guys would be like, "Oh fuck, I didn't do a good job." I do think that, but I also think, "Oh, good, she's still going."
For me, it's not that you did a good job. It's like I said, it's like sexual compulsion, like that addiction of like, oh my God, that last one was so good. I need to have more. I
wish I was like that. I wish like I could just come and then like get right back to it the way a woman can. I just think that's so unfair. So unfair.
Well,
But that's also why I think women require multiple partners.
Maybe.
Are you saying you would want multiple partners?
I'm sorry?
Are you saying you would not want multiple partners?
Oh, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying in general, maybe.
I'm talking to you, damn it. So in that, like, what do you think of the new bed?
I like the new bed. I always like the bed to be up higher.
I like this bed more than our previous.
The angle of the bed, because of its height, in certain positions, it's just perfect.
Perfect how?
There's like the symmetry of things connecting at a certain point level, because of the height of the bed.
So let me put it in layman's terms. The bed is the perfect height for me to stand, not have to bend, not have to get my tippy toes, for me to insert my dick into Marilu's pussy and feel real good, like I did last night. And she gets to use her little buzzer at the same time.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. I remember when we first started dating, you had mentioned to me that was your preferable position to have sex, so that you could do that. And I feel bad because we've tried it in the past with our previous bed, and it's just, I don't want to say it's impossible, but it was very challenging. And so it's been quite some time since you've experienced sex in that manner.
Well, we had tried using like the wedge or a pillow or something, but you're so tall, so it didn't work out. Or worse yet, the next morning I'd wake up with like, ow
sore back
on my back, because the angle of the wedge wasn't exactly for my body. But yeah.
No, I think I'm beginning to enjoy that position.
Well, you get to see a lot more in that position.
So Ed, I'm gonna put this up on screen. Ed says that he once built a bed specifically to fit my height. You mean height when you're standing next to it, or height when you're laying down? or standing on it, because there's also that too.
Mhm.
There's also that.
Yeah, 'cause God forbid you bounce on it and you hit your head on the ceiling.
I'm gonna get one of those bondage beds, those like metal ones, like the one that we had here at the Steel City Eroticon.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, yeah.
I've always said I've wanted one of those where the bottom was like a cage, so
Okay.
I could put people in timeout.
I'm out. What? We got
You didn't make me sound good enough. Get in the cage.
Grandkids. They go home. They go home to dad, and they'll be like, "Yeah, Grandpa and Grandma put us under the bed in a cage, and they will never be allowed over again."
No, I'm talking about putting you
Oh, I get a timeout.
in timeout. Yeah.
Well, that doesn't sound much like punishment.
Well, if your skill set is ever lacking,
Oh,
then you get put in the cage.
oh, well,
Mm-hmm.
threaten me with a good time, young lady.
And let's just emphasize numerous cages, not just one.
Oh, what, you think I'm like King Kong? I can break out of one?
That's not what I meant.
Hmm.
Oh, this is where the other partner.
Yeah. Ed says this is where the other partner comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm locked in a cage, somebody's got to step up to the plate. So I'm going to be very concerned if Marilu says, I'm going to lock you in the cage now, and I don't see anybody else there. I have a feeling I'm going to be in there for a really long time. I'll have to figure out a patch or something.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, speaking of cages, I think it was last week. I was on Facebook, and I don't know why this ad popped up, but it was a good sized dog cage on wheels.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I posted on my personal page, and and I was like, does this not look like a piece of bondage furniture? I mean, it was big. It was big enough that it could go in there very easily. And it looked really heavy duty, and it was on wheels, and a bunch of people said, yeah, you definitely need to get that for the club. So I actually started researching dog crates on Amazon and a couple other, like PetSmart or one of those or whatever. Excuse me, they're expensive. They're like
they are. Well, you also had one that posted that it's like a total gym.
Oh yeah. That's the one I posted on my personal.
And it actually looks like it would be perfect for bondage. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it had these. So it was like this. It looked like a piece of bondage furniture,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe like probably a real dense foam on the inside, and then it was wrapped in vinyl or leather.
Mm-hmm.
There were literally attachment points on the side of this thing, and this was. Now they're showing these people with these like rubber cables, and they're working out doing this and whatever, and all I could see is this piece of bondage furniture with these fucking people doing exercises on it. That's all I could see. But it literally had like the
attachments.
Yeah, it had attachment points on it, probably for the little cable things or rubber things, so you could attach it and do different stuff. But
of course, you went straight to it being a bondage.
Oh yeah. I mean, my mind goes to that pretty darn quick.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
Especially when
it says he keeps wait, you keep what in your dungeon? You keep a dog crate?
A cage. Yeah.
Or a cage. Probably one you built. I don't know. Do you weld? I don't know if you weld or not. You probably do. I know you try to blow your house up with the acetylene tank.
I'm sure he welds.
Thomas says hook a motor up to it and it can be driven around. That actually is not a terrible idea.
Ah.
Little electric motor and a little steering wheel inside. Driving around the club.
I'm tied up right now, but I'll be right over.
Yes. Oh, yeah. You know what? You got my hands tied to the wheel, and I can only sit and drive it around. Oh,
That'd be cool to like have like races in the back parking lot. Dog cage races.
Cage races, yeah. That's not a terrible idea.
Oh.
Hmm.
Write it down. Add it to your list.
My list. Let me look at my notes. Wow. Wow. I have a lot of fucking notes. I think I need to go through these and delete some of them. I put all my notes on my computer. I use Keep Notes, but I also have these little Post-it things, and I write all kinds of little notes. What's funny is I'll make little notes like I need to do something, and then these notes just sit on my desk and they're like stuck all over the place. And there's literally notes from like 3 years ago of things that I never did. And I wrote it down because it was important at the moment. So okay. I do it a lot. So I try to put in Keep Notes. That's probably why I have a shit ton of Keep Notes. Oh, Ed says he has a bird cage. Oh,
I like the bird cage, like a parrot cage.
Oh, I didn't see Courtney was in. Hi, Courtney. Courtney with slave cages. I didn't. You know what's weird? I don't feel like I know a lot of our the people that work with us. I don't feel like I know a lot of their sexual proclivities. And you would think us all working together, that would be like a lot of our conversation. So I'm intrigued to know, is Courtney into BDSM?
Well, she's got like the little monkeys, like, you know, say nothing.
Maybe Courtney will chime in here and let us know what she's into.
She did. Didn't you see?
Yep. She says, hey, y'all. No, but I definitely, it's weird. And I'm thinking about it. I don't really know much of people we work with, what their proclivities are. Now, I know some of the people that we work with are not in the lifestyle.
True.
Like, I think a lot of our members believe that everybody who works for us is in the lifestyle, but I would say less than half are actually in the lifestyle.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. And by in the lifestyle, what I mean is like they're active participants in the lifestyle, or at least were prior to working with us, because for those of you who are thinking about working for us, you're not allowed to play at work. Yeah. So that's a big no-no. Can't play with you can play with other staff, not while you're working. Is that right?
Yeah.
Marilu's like, what? But no, yeah, we don't play at work or anything like that. So, Courtney says she's never tried it, and she's an amateur. I don't think for a second Courtney's an amateur at anything relating to what. Maybe BDSM, definitely not amateur. Oh, I can't say that. She's still works. Yeah. All right, no more talking about your sex life.
Now we have witnessed some of our employees that are in the lifestyle on their days off.
That we have.
Yeah. Where we've kind of walked by a hallway and seen a room and been like, oh, that's interesting. And then come to find out months later, as we're like telling the story of like, oh, we saw this scene, and then being like, oh yeah, that was me. What?
Wait. I know exactly what story you're talking about. And I'm gonna tell the story, but I'm not gonna name names.
No.
because I saw the same thing. Now, at the time, only one of the people that we're talking about worked for us at the time. Fast forward to later on, they both were working for us. Here's the funny part. Well, there's two funny parts. So the first funny part was, as I walk by, all I see there's three people in the room, two guys and a girl. I see the woman laying on the bed with her legs open, and the other person in between her legs going. All I can see is this, but I'm seeing it from the back, like just going back and forth, like
the hair swooshing and flowing and whatever. Right. Yeah.
So that was the funny part. The first funny part. The second funny part was I had no idea who the other people were in the room. Number one, because they hadn't worked for us. I didn't learn until probably 2 years later.
Yeah.
That the other couple who now works for us was in that room with the other staff member.
Off the clock, of course, but
yeah. This was all off the clock, but yeah. So yeah, that was super interesting and funny to me. I wish I could tell you who it was, but it wouldn't matter. You wouldn't know. So Courtney says, I had my freaky days in my early 20s. I slowed down a lot due to having a child. I mean, I'll give you that. That's, having a kid's a lot of work, not just physically, but mentally. It's mentally taxing. I think it's more mentally taxing than it is physically. But, that's just me. So, what else? What else you want to talk about?
Well, why don't you recap what's going on for the week then? Because tomorrow we have.
Well, tonight we've got the virtual chat.
Right.
That starts at 9:30. And that goes on till probably 4 a.m. Tomorrow night we've got the Chatterbait virtual meeting. That's going to be at 7 o'clock. It was supposed to be at 8, but it's at 7 now. So any of you watching this, excuse me, it's 7. And then Saturday we've got another virtual event for all of the clubs. That's a Sinners and Saints themed event. So wear white if you're a saint and black or red if you're a sinner. And then
Saturday we have, don't we have a special guest in Canton on Saturday? This Saturday?
A special guest. So we, well, I haven't told the staff this yet, but you're going to have a different manager. And no, it's not going to be Marilu and I. Actually, Stephanie from the Toledo Club is going to be traveling to Canton this weekend to work the Canton Club, which is Big Bang on Friday. And what is Saturday?
Last week was the glow party.
Yeah. I can't think of what this Saturday is. Holy smokes. Hold on. Let me look. This is terrible.
Someone already told the Canton staff.
Oh. Well, Laura is one of our staff members in Canton. So
Wonderland. Wonderland.
Yeah. So that's funny because I did Wonderland. The first time I did Wonderland was at the Toledo Club, and staff from both Pittsburgh and Canton both said, when are we going to do a Wonderland party here? So we're doing it this Saturday.
Yes.
So adjusted hours, 5 to 10 for both parties, Friday and Saturday. But that's up in 2 weeks or next week. No, 2 weeks.
Right. The curfew. Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully things are settling down with the COVID and they keep the restrictions off. So, but we'll see. Yep. But yeah, so that's what's going on this weekend. And then maybe sometime this month, Marilu and I will be camming on Chatterbait together.
Not if you're going to make that noise.
I'm not that noise. All right. I think that's about it. Anything else you want to add?
No, I think we're pretty much caught up and rounded up on what we're gonna.
Okay.
all the
Yeah,
virtual
let's
stuff for
still watch
tonight.
it because we're gonna play the intro video as an outro. So
He's like, what?
is he still on? Is he still
He's
watching?
still on.
All right. All right. We're going to do it right now, Ed. Don't go anywhere. All right, guys. Well, we'll be in the chat tonight. I'll be in at 9:30, maybe a little after. If you want to, for those of you members, you want to come in and talk a little bit more, we can talk mano and kind of go from there. I don't know if Marilu's going to come in. She might be topless. Who knows?
A few people have seen me topless.
Yes, that is very true.
A few.
A few. All right, so we're out. We'll see you guys next week if we don't see you tonight in the chat or Saturday in the chat. Hope you have a good week, and we'll talk to you later. And here goes the intro as our outro. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Again, I'm a voyeur, so I love it. I'll watch it.
It was definitely.
Sideshows come in and stuff. Do you still do those?
Yeah. Like this?
Oh, and the butterflies, before you get on, you're waiting in line.
Certified free, 7 days a week. That wet ass pussy, God, my pull-out game weak.